Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Friedman Adventures morning briefing. We have got so much to cover with you because there is so much exciting stuff going on, including more yellowfin tuna. Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Friedman Adventures morning briefing. We have got so much to cover with you because there is so much exciting stuff going on, including more yellowfin tuna pushing up the Baja coast, along with dorado. The kelp patty action, torrid right now. It is amazing how good it is. A big south swell that presumably may sweep more fish up into Southern California. Thunderstorms, the Grunion run is over, and so much more, including some more local dorado and a lot of fish starting to push even further north on Friedman Adventures this morning. Hey, it is great to be back with you all. Yesterday was a fun day on board the Judith Ann with my friend Tom Durer, who ran the boat. We had a lovely family out there. I'll have more on that in just a moment. However, I do want to mention that during the trip, Tom came down and he was hooking and handing fish. And at one point, he lost 4 out of the 5 fish that he hooked. And he was angry. And he quipped out loud, "What is wrong with me?" And I looked at him and I said, "Tom, is this a half-day trip?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Oh man, there's not enough time to tell you what's wrong with you. We get a 2-day trip, then maybe I can work it all in." To which he promptly replied, "F-O" to me. So a lot of fun, and I have some great video. We caught a couple of short white sea bass, had brisk calico bass action toward the end. It truly was a lot of fun. I want to say hi to my friend Travis Bright, and especially to his young daughter Aubrey, who loves to watch Friedman Adventures. He especially likes the rooster crow at the very beginning. So Travis, for Aubrey, I'm going to put the rooster crow out there one more time for you this morning. All right, great to be with you. We have got so much to cover with you. Let me take you down to the beautiful city of Ensenada, Baja California. Let you know the pongueros down there continue to hammer out catches of bluefin tuna. Trolling with the Mad Mac lures has been probably their preferred way to get it done, and they just continue to do really, really well using that method. Lots of nice big bluefin, a lot of stuff over the 100-pound class, still some stuff in the 20 to 40-pound range, but they added a while back all that great kelp patty action, and it is really good when you find the right kelp. And those right kelps, which once were in the minority, seem to be more prevalent now. And I think that's because more fish are flushing up the Baja coast. Pongueros down there out of Ensenada having some really outstanding fishing, and it does not want to slow down. Again, 30 to 40 pound, we like Opsin fluorocarbon. Go with the fluorocarbon, www.opsinusa.com. And remember to put in FA at checkout. You'll get a free gift from Greg Brown, the owner, as well as a handwritten note. Although his little fingers are really starting to ache. People are putting FA in there so many times. So really some great action. Choosing a good hot bait makes all the difference in the world. Poppers, surface iron, all working well on the kelps. It's a mix in terms of the size of fish. This goes for everywhere. So we talk a lot about the big grade yellowtail on the kelp patties, and it is there. A lot of 8 to 15 pound, but some bigger than that. And just want to emphasize, we do see the 5-pounders sometimes. Sometimes it's straight 5-pounders. Most of the times it's that nicer grade fish. I just want you to be aware of that. Some really outstanding action. Hey, just to mention, Gino Machino, who's a big fan of Friedman Adventures, said that his buddy was fishing the 9 Mile Bank, very close to San Diego, suggested by its name, and he had this beautiful yellowfin tuna. Nothing wrong with that. More YFT starting to push up and in. Malihini yesterday, 22 guys, 59 yellowtail, 19 dorado. San Diego, 86 yellowtail, 6 dorado. Beautiful scores for the boys down there in that neck of the woods. Thunderbird, man, Jeff Markland has been all over it. He is really one of those guys who, I don't know what it is, but some guys have it. Jeff's got it, man. He's very fishy. 144 yellows, 13 dorado. What a hit for them. The Fury, Dana Worth sport fishing, 130 on the yellowtail, 15 dorado. And boy, I'll tell you, it is good. San Diego based boats, overnight, hammering out 100+ scores, limit type scores on the yellowtail, getting a better sprinkling of dorado, getting more and more of those yellowfin tuna that are moving in, not biting them well. And there are bluefin tuna around. In fact, there's so much bluefin tuna you can almost walk on them. But they're playing their usual finicky game this year. Sometimes they bite, most of the times they tease, as evidenced by this great video that my friend Jeff Yeoman sent me from the 540 Slingers Club as they rolled up on spot after spot after spot of BFT on board the Pride on their 2-day trip. It was mind-boggling, and we see this over and over and over again. Lots of big schools of bluefin and copious amounts of dorado. We mentioned to you just the other day that Crystal Ponce caught that big dorado out here, private boating with her husband Albert, and they saw literally thousands of fish. And guys are telling me that when they find a scrap of a kelp, I mean, you know, something like that, just a scrap like that, I'm telling you, they have dorado on it right now. Some of the local boats out of Dana War Sport Fishing are reporting that, so it's pretty darn incredible what is going on, and I am loving every single moment of it. So I already told you, fish that fluoro. If you have heavy stuff, bring it, because look at that foamer bluefin, and look at what's going on. It's really, really incredible. Grant Cummings is a private boater. He was out yesterday. He found a school of bluefin, and he worked it really, really, really hard. Ended up with 4 beautiful bluefin, all in triple digits, all over 100 pounds. Gorgeous fish, as you can see, using the Sterling Chaos tracker bars, blue and white. He said that color is very limited. You better grab some, because he said it was super effective. They were on a very slow boat, and you want to troll those things much faster. It only went 6 knots, and they still got them. Grant's a superior fisherman, did really, really well. Alex Navar was out of Newport on board the Patriot, 5 dorado, 1 yellowtail. He told me that when they found a scrap of kelp, it had dorado on it. There is so much dorado up here right now that is absolutely mind-boggling. So just let's look at the scenario right now. We can take you hundreds of miles down below Ensenada, and there's dorado on yellowtail on the kelps, and it pushes now up into Southern California and out to Tanner Banks and Cortez Banks, where we're finding them around San Clemente Island. There is so much fish, and it has yet to really go bonkers in terms of the dorado and the yellowfin tuna. So when that happens, it's gonna get even crazier. This just sets up for a magnificent fall. It's good right now. I think it's gonna be mind-boggling in the future. And that gives me a nice segue to tell you that August the 19th, which is a Friday, we'll be on board the Malihini. Better make your plans now to get on board that one. It seems like it's gonna be a great trip as they go on and on. We told you Bill had 59 yellowtail. He had almost 80 yellowtail the day before on the Malihini. Great fishing. And then we have 3 2-day trips to end the season. I'm so glad I put those in the fall. August the 31st, almost sold out now. Amigo will be on board out of 22nd Street Landing. Look at these fish on the Amigo. Beautiful grade, gorgeous big fish. And those fish are starting to bite more and more. That's bluefin. Man, it just seems like a lock on the yellows and the dorado, and maybe even the yellowfin tuna, and then some big bluefin. It just seems good. And then we have 2 2-day trips on the Pride with Captain Sean Roberts, Michael Potvin. They're doing such a great job this year. In fact, the Pride had a 3/4 day trip, and the guy said, hey, can we, get some fish in the sack, like good eating fish? So Sean limited them out on sculpin, and then he went outside on a 3/4 day trip and ended up hitting a kelp and doing pretty darn good for local. I think it was 1 for 3 on his first kelp on dorado. Saw a lot of fish. That also looking very, very, very good. Now, boats that are up here fishing day-and-a-half trips are getting a piece of it. The El Dorado had 15 bonita and had a little bit of yellowtail, not much. I mean, I think he had 50 bonita. Where's my notes here? El Dorado had some big bonita and 15 yellowtail. Man, am I falling off the deep end here this morning. So a little bit of piece of it. That stuff has to move up just a little bit further, and hopefully it's going to do that as we continue to monitor all these situations for you. There is such great potential here, and it's really starting to come together really, really well. All right, let me take you to the islands and take you down to Ensenada off Todos Santos Island, where there's good barracuda. More yellows have pushed in to Todos now. They're starting to bite, and we're also seeing some really good calico bass fishing. Nothing wrong with that. Coronado Island's good yellowtail fishing. Calicos are there, barracuda are there. There's some great fishing going on, but most people are turning their attention to the offshore scene right now as it's really, really heating up. San Clemente Island, most guys are going to fish offshore, but the guys that are there picking away at the yellows, sometimes as many as 30, 40 yellows. That's an exceptional day. Most of the time, 10 to 15. Still have that sea lion nonsense going on. Really good calico bass fishing going on. Catalina Island, hit and miss, but there are kelps. If you're on the Pursuit, you're on the Enterprise, you're on whatever boat that is headed over the native sun, you've got a chance to find a kelp holding dorado. They're not biting that well. Many times you have to drop the mono down, or I should say the fluoro down, to really light, even 12, 15 to get a bite, but you're playing a dangerous game there. If you hit a big dorado, you might lose the thing. Hopefully that light switch is going to go on. At Cat itself, some bonita, some days very, very good. Few yellowtail over there, not much. Calico bass, mostly shorts. That's been the scenario there. Out there at San Nicolas and Santa Barbara, some private boaters still catching sea bass. Most sport boats have abandoned it. And up in the Channel Islands, we continue to see a few white sea bass and good rock fishing along the coast. Well, let me get to the coast in a minute. There is some barracuda, but really good rock fishing. I wouldn't write the sea bass thing off yet. There are some guys still catching up there, so we'll see how that goes. On the coast, we continue to see decent barracuda fishing down there in the Ensenada area. Same thing off of San Diego. See some barracuda frolicking around there. A little bit of sand bass on board. Boats like the Premier out of H&M Landing, and then Dana Wharf. A lot of calicos, but mostly shorts, and dorado kelps are so close right now. When that light switch goes on, you're going to have half-day boats out of there catching flatheads this year. I'll guarantee you that. Up here in the LA Orange County area, well, I'll talk to you about our trip on board the Judith Ann because it was a fun one. But overall, pretty darn tough. Trying to find some barracuda. Every once in a while, you'll find a school that pops up. Bass fishing's been off because conditions have not been that good. And the city of Long Beach and other guys mostly focused on the sculpin. It's August. I know you'd think to yourself they shouldn't be doing that, but they are just doing what they have to do. When you have poor conditions and the bass aren't biting, you want to send your folks home with some fish, and there's nothing better than sculpin. So right now, that's what we're doing. All right, on board the Judith Ann yesterday, of course, I opened up with what I told Tom. We always have a great time. Chef Jason from Scholb's in Long Beach showed up to play deckhand with me, and he was great. I mean, he was instructing the folks. I've got some video here that I'll roll for you right now. We took this family out, and a more wonderful family I don't think you could ever meet. Loving, giving, so kind, eager to learn. Mom was born in Singapore, the kids and dad in China, and they couldn't have been any nicer and more eager to catch fish. And we had an outstanding time. Big south swell rolling in, crashing over Point Furman Reef. That was really great conditions. We found the same thing that these local guys are. It was kind of windy. It was very windy. And the water was off color. We dropped a couple degrees, so Tom said, "The heck with this, let's go." So we jetted all the way up there, close to the Santa Monica Bay, and we tried it up there. Could not get anything really good. Caught a couple of short sea bass, and that was a lot of fun. Great fun for the people on board. And then we came back to Point Furman Reef, where it really started to bite, and it was excellent fishing indeed. I must tell you that Tom took one of the boys, Jefferson, and said, "You know what, enough of this nonsense of me hooking a fish and handing it to you. I'm going to teach you how to do it." Tom spent a lot of time with Jefferson, and I'm telling you, all of a sudden, all by himself, one calico after another calico after another calico. So great to see that. It was really, really outstanding. And if I'm going to go off on a tangent here for a moment. Indulge me just for a moment because I'm coming back. But I mean, this is an immigrant family who've come to the United States, and they understand, and I do too, through my travels and living in China. You come from a totalitarian, top-down government like China to the United States of America, and you value this country so much more. It's people that don't get out and see what is going on in the world don't value sometimes what we have here in the USA. And as we were coming in to 22nd Street Landing. We're near an Army base, the national anthem being played as we come rolling in, and Mom from Singapore in this family is singing the national anthem, sitting next to Tom Durr. If I feel I am getting a little choked up over that. It was a beautiful moment indeed. And you can ask Tom about that. I saw him with a tear in his eye. Something really, really beautiful happened on board that trip. Great family. Mom dropped her iPhone in the drink, however, as we got to the landing, and we were thinking, oh my God, and she had a SIM card from China that she really needed. So we went up to the 22nd Street Landing office and we pleaded with Mike Morrison, who in 1 minute flat had a diver come down. I had to leave before the resolution of that. I surmise that we found the phone because Mom was really ecstatic that Mike was able to do just that. All right, up there in the Channel Islands along the coast, the Island Spirit up there in that neck of the woods with decent barracuda fishing. Tougher conditions, Cody Rogers said. 11 people, 33 barracuda, 12 calico bass, 4 bonita, and then rockfish, whitefish, and all of that stuff to go along with it. So really, really good stuff, no question about it. Tonight, 7 p.m. live on Friedman Adventures on our YouTube channel, we are going to have Brian and Moon Huynh. Brian and Moon, their knowledge, I mean, my knowledge is like this. Their knowledge is way off the chart. You can ask them anything. You can ask them a question about private boaters. You can ask them about bluefin. You can ask them about anything in this business. What kind of polarized glasses should I buy? What's the best way to tie blah, blah, blah knot? These guys are so good, and you can ask questions tonight. Tune in tonight, 7 p.m. for a really special podcast. It's going to be a great one. So, folks, I don't know what to tell you. There is some extraordinary stuff going on. Extraordinary. In today's show description, you'll find a list of our charters. These are going to be good ones. We've had some stinkers this year. Let's be perfectly candid with you. Weather, slow fishing. I mean, I felt like jumping overboard a few times. But as I look ahead, these look like they could be really extraordinary trips. In the show description right now, you can check those out. Also on our Facebook page. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and along the surf still, some really good corvina fishing as that's picking up. Just finished up a grunion run, so we're headed in the right direction there. And also yellowfin croaker, spotfin croaker, really, really excellent fishing in many areas. Natural baits is the way to go for the corvina and the spotfin. There's fewer spotfin right now, but yellowfin croaker love to bite that 3/4 ounce crocodile, toss it out there and wind it back. Vary your speeds, find the speed that works best, and you can hammer out some excellent catches. So much going on. I'm so happy to be with you all again, and I can't thank you enough for helping Friedman Adventures to soar toward 1 million views. It looks like we'll be able to accomplish that by the end of the year, and I'm no dummy. I owe that all to you. Have a great day. Thanks for joining us. I'll see you again really, really soon.